Carl Jung's research revealed a strikingly uncommon kind of personality, one marked by a profound and advanced way of perceiving the world. He found that fewer than 1 in 20 people ever fully develop what he called a differentiated consciousness. If you see yourself in several of the signs we'll explore, you might belong to this distinct psychological minority. Tragically, many who possess this depth spend years believing they are somehow flawed, having been told their sensitivity, intensity, and demand for meaning are problems to fix. Jung saw this differently. He documented individuals whose rich inner lives were not disorders, but evidence of a more evolved form of awareness. What's more, Jung proposed that these rare individuals aren't merely different. They may signal a forward step in human consciousness itself. Their traits, often misunderstood as weaknesses, are in fact sophisticated upgrades. The journey to self-understanding begins by recognizing these patterns. If you ever felt out of step with the world, the issue may not be that you are too much. It might be that conventional reality is too limited for the way you experience it. The very qualities that make you feel like an outsider could be the signatures of a breakthrough, not a breakdown. Let's explore the first indicator. 1. Profound emotional resonance. For you, emotions are not simple, passing states. Jung observed that some individuals experience feeling tone complexes, where emotions arrive with immense depth and layered significance. You don't just feel sadness or joy. You experience entire psychological landscapes. This isn't volatility. It's a heightened capacity to process the full spectrum of human experience. You might sense the unspoken emotions in a room or absorb the subtle undertones of a conversation. This profound resonance means you are connected to what Jung termed the objective psyche, accessing layers that most people filter out. It is a form of emotional intelligence that operates at a fundamental level. 2. An irrepressible need to question. Jung noted that many live unconsciously, accepting societal norms without scrutiny. If you possess this rare psychological makeup, you inherently challenge surface-level explanations. Your mind actively probes for root causes. Why do people tolerate unfulfilling lives? Why do we prioritize convenience over genuine connection? This relentless inquiry is what Jung described as a transcendent function, the ability to hold tension between what is and what could be, thereby envisioning new possibilities. Naturally, such deep questioning can unsettle those who prefer comfortable illusions. If you've been criticized for overthinking or asking too many questions, recognize this trait as a drive toward truth, not mere skepticism. 3. Self-sourced identity and conscious independence. True self-acceptance, Jung warned, is a daunting challenge. Yet for you, building an independent sense of self may have been a necessity, often forged through periods of solitude or adversity. This is an isolation born from defensiveness, but a conscious withdrawal to construct an identity that isn't dependent on external validation. Jung called this process individuation, the difficult work of integrating all parts of oneself, including the rejected shadow aspects. Your ability to stand alone, therefore, is less about loneliness and more about sanctuary. It represents a hard-won psychological achievement where you know who you are, separate from the roles you are expected to play. For intuitive perception of unspoken realities, Jung validated intuition as a critical cognitive function, describing it as perception via the unconscious. In practice, this means you perceive what isn't explicitly stated. You read the subtle cues, micro-expressions, shifts in energy, the meaning behind silence. You might know someone is distressed long before they admit it, or sense hidden dynamics in a group. Jung would see this as active imagination at work, an ability to see beyond the literal. However, this hyper-awareness comes with a cost. Without boundaries, you can become an unofficial therapist for others, carrying emotional weights that aren't yours to bear. Protecting the sensitivity is crucial for your own equilibrium. 5. A non-negotiable demand for meaning. Jung famously said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." For you, this isn't just an ideal, it's an imperative. Your psychological architecture rebels against inauthenticity. Attempts to live for superficial rewards or social approval lead to what Jung identified as neurotic symptoms, a deep sense of emptiness and self-betrayal. You cannot sustain interest in goals devoid of substance or relationships lacking true connection. This isn't elitism. It's a constitutional need for purpose. Your psyche will continually steer you away from hollow pursuits and toward engagements that feel genuinely significant. The remaining signs further illuminate this rare psychological blueprint. When these patterns are viewed together, a clear portrait emerges of consciousness that operates at a different frequency, not broken, but advanced. Society may have labeled your depth as a burden, but Jungian psychology suggests it is actually a rare form of sophistication. These advanced traits do more than set you apart. They position you as an agent of change. By insisting on genuine connection, you create ripples that challenge the superficiality around you. Your very presence invites others to examine their own compromises. 6. The inevitable cycle of outgrowing. Jung observed that psychological maturation is often a lonely path. He noted, "The greatest tragedy of the family is the unlived lives of the parents." When you choose to live fully, you may find yourself leaving behind more than just old habits. You leave behind versions of yourself that others still recognize. Relationships that were built on your former conformity can strain or fade. This isn't a personal failure, but a sign of what Jung described as a necessary death and rebirth of the psyche. Once you have awakened to a new level of awareness, returning to old patterns of thought or relationship becomes impossible. Your evolution is a one-way journey. If you face pressure to revert to who you were, it's often because your growth highlights the unchosen paths of others. 7. A naturally transformational presence. Jung wrote that when two personalities meet, both are transformed. Some individuals, however, seem to catalyze this transformation simply through authentic being. They possess a capacity for creating psychological holding space. In your presence, people may feel deeply heard, not just their words, but the emotions and meanings beneath them. You offer a quality of attention that allows hidden truths to surface. Jung saw this as a potent form of unspoken healing. The challenge to those with this gift is a tendency toward overextension. You may unconsciously adopt a helper role, pouring your energy into holding space for others while neglecting to secure that same sanctuary for yourself. The key is not to withdraw your empathy, but to apply it with greater discernment, ensuring your own well-being is part of the equation. 8. A compass pointing toward undefined purpose. A recurring sense of a larger calling is a powerful driver. Jung identified this as the work of the transcendent function, an inner pull toward purpose and wholeness. You may feel a persistent, if unclear, conviction that your life is meant for something significant beyond conventional milestones. This isn't about grandeur, it's about alignment. Ignoring this inner imperative, Jung found, often leads to a psychological crisis, a feeling of emptiness, anxiety, or profound meaninglessness. He offered a crucial insight. This purpose is not merely personal. It is transpersonal, meaning it connects you to something larger than yourself. Your journey toward individuation contributes to the broader evolution of collective consciousness. Jung spent his career mapping the development of such individuals. He outlined stages that provide a useful mirror for your own growth. Stage 1. the unconscious outsider. Here, you feel different but view your traits as flaws. Efforts are focused on fitting in and conforming, leading to what Jung called persona rigidity, a stiff, performative self that hides your true nature. The cost is a growing sense of strain and inauthenticity. Stage 2, the awakening individual. A shift occurs. You begin to reframe your depth and sensitivity as potential strengths. This stage involves conscious shadow work, acknowledging and integrating the parts of yourself you've been taught to deny. You start setting boundaries, seeking deeper connections, and gradually ceasing to apologize for the way you experience the world. Stage 3, the individuated consciousness. This represents a stage of integration. Your rare traits are woven into a cohesive and authentic identity. You live with purpose and psychological wholeness. At this level, your authentic existence naturally gives others permission to explore their own. You become a living catalyst for growth, not through effort, but through being. However, Jung issued a vital warning. Without integrating your shadow, your greatest gifts can become traps. Even advanced personalities have unconscious blind spots. The shadow of superiority, mistaking rarity for inherent superiority, leading to isolation and arrogance. The Messiah's shadow, assuming an unconscious burden to save or awaken everyone around you, resulting in burnout and resentment. The martyr's shadow, believing that depth necessitates perpetual suffering or the sacrifice of ordinary happiness. Integration means bringing these patterns into awareness so they no longer control you from the shadows. True sophistication lies in discernment, knowing when to share your light and when to conserve it, when to speak and when to listen. This discernment is especially crucial in relationships. Jung noted that rare personalities often attract two types of people: light seekers, who want to borrow your energy and insight without doing their own inner work, and light dimmers, who feel threatened by your intensity and consciously or unconsciously try to reduce it. Recognizing these dynamics is a first step toward building mutually nourishing connections. This dynamic reveals a core truth. Your authenticity can act as an unconscious mirror, reflecting back the compromises others have made. The healthiest connections are with light matchers, those rare individuals who have done their own inner work. They can engage with your depth without needing to consume your energy or diminish your light. They maintain their own psychological sovereignty while genuinely celebrating yours. Jung found that conscious relationships between such individuals create a powerful mutual reflection, each person helping the other recognize their potential. This brings us to a crucial Jungian principle. With psychological rarity comes a specific responsibility. Your differentiated consciousness isn't just for personal benefit. It serves a collective function. Jung saw individuals like you as bridges between humanity's unconscious depths and its conscious awareness. Through your questions, your depth, and your refusal to accept shallow narratives, you contribute to the overall evolution of human understanding. This is a deeper reason ordinary pursuits feel empty. Your psyche is oriented toward a different kind of work. However, Jung sternly warned against psychological inflation, the danger of mistaking your rarity for superiority. The balanced path requires holding both humility and power, recognizing your distinct traits without devaluing others. Your sensitivity is a form of nuanced intelligence. Your intensity is a necessary force. Your refusal to settle is what pushes boundaries forward. Jung even predicted that as humanity evolves, these traits will become less rare. This means you operate on what he called the leading edge of consciousness. Your way of being explores territory that others may later inhabit. This reframes every past struggle. Each time you felt like an outsider, you were navigating uncharted psychological terrain. Each criticism you receive for being too much often signal that you are challenging a comfortable, limited worldview. This path inevitably involves loneliness. You are addressing questions most people haven't considered, seeking connections that exceed conventional standards. Jung's culminating insight is both demanding and freeing. You must learn to value your own rarity without requiring universal validation. The goal is to embody your authentic nature so completely that you become a living demonstration of what is possible. This means accepting that some people will not understand you, and some may actively resist your clarity because it highlights their own obscurity. Yet, by fully embracing your nature, you naturally attract those who are ready for a similar level of authenticity. You don't need a crowd to agree with you. You need to find your true tribe. To summarize, the 8 signs are not random traits, but evidence of an advanced psychological architecture. Your emotional depth is not oversensitivity, but high-resolution emotional intelligence. Your relentless questioning is not cynicism, but consciousness challenging limits. Your independence is not isolation, but hard-won psychological sovereignty. Your intuitive awareness is not paranoia, but perception functioning at its full capacity. Your demand for meaning is not impractical, but your psyche requiring alignment. Your pattern of outgrowing situations is not disloyalty, but the momentum of evolution. Your transformational presence is not manipulation, but authenticity creating space for truth. Your undefined sense of purpose is not confusion, but potential awaiting its correct form. If these patterns resonate, you are participating in what Jung considered a vital evolutionary step for humanity. Your journey requires more courage and entails more solitude than most will know, but it is essential. The world does not need you to be smaller or quieter. It needs you to be exactly what you are: psychologically sophisticated, consciously evolved, and unapologetically authentic. Your intensity is the antidote to collective numbness. Your sensitivity is the radar that detects what others ignore. Your refusal to settle is the engine of progress. You are not just living a life. You are helping to expand the very definition of human experience.